Imagination Library is a program that was started by Dolly Parton in 1995. And she started it as a way to give back to her community. She had already been extremely philanthropic in the school system, the music program, and near and dear to her heart was literacy. Her fondest memories were sitting on her mom's lap and having her read stories to her from the Bible. And she said her father, who she felt was one of the most intelligent men that she knew, was illiterate, even to the time of his death. He never learned to read or write. And she felt like she never wanted that to happen again if she could make a difference. And so through her Dollywood Foundation, she started Imagination Library in her county in Sevierville, Tennessee. And what this program is essentially is any child under the age of 5 can sign up and they receive a free book each month mailed directly to their homes. And they're beautiful books. The first book that every child receives is The Little Engine That Could, and the last book that every child receives the month of their 5th birthday, which is quite nice. Well, what they have found is that there is someone in that house that will read to the child. It might be an older sibling, a grandparent, a caregiver, and there are many stories of parents who improve their literacy rates through this program because they want so desperately to read to their child.
We've had some great stories about parents who have told us, my older sibling was struggling with reading in school, and now they're so excited when little sister or little brother gets a book that they're reading the books that come in the mail to the sibling, and the teacher is calling home and going, what are you doing at home? Because their reading has improved. So we've had like personal stories where parents will tell us, this is what's happening in my house.
And the first thing I did was contact Dollywood Foundation and say, what books are you mailing out? I was a 4th grade teacher, loved stories, loved children's literature, and I thought the first thing I need to make sure is that they're good books. And then when I got the list of their book list, these are some examples, phenomenal. And then I had to find out, what it entailed, and the reality of it is you become an affiliate and you basically agree to raise funds and sign kids up. And because it's through the Dollywood Foundation and they have a partnership with Penguin Publishing, 12 books costs $25 a year. So I agreed to raise $25 a year per child. So that worked out to approximately $2.10 a book. And I thought, we can do this. I can do this. And generally speaking, organizations such as the United Way or Rotary or a school board or what have you pick up and champion this program. And when I went to these organizations in Talbot County, everybody said, oh, that's really super, but no one wanted to do it. And so then one day while I was playing tennis, I said, hey, I've got this great idea. And lo and behold, a couple of my friends said, if you do it, we'll do it.
But truly, when you think about it, a book like this, if you were to try to mail this book, it would cost you $2.69 medium mail already. But $2.10 purchased and mailed. And the beauty is printed, mailed, and it arrives in the child's mailbox. So what we have to do is register kids, download it to a computer. Our overhead is nothing. We never touch the books. Yeah. They go directly to the kids. It's such an effective and streamlined program.
And what's nice about our books is that they're not only these beautiful stories, but they have these back flaps that have guided reading strategies for parents to do with their child before, during, and after reading the story. So it makes it a more enriching experience.
And a story emerges from a book. It starts with pictures, that a picture tells a story and that words are somehow correlating to the pictures, and then they, graduate to sentences and ideas and rhyming and colors. There's just all of that brain development that happens, and creativity, imagination. There's just so much that goes on with the books that it doesn't seem apparent to people and is really happening in those kids' brains.
What is so great about a story like One Cool Friend is that it starts out with this little boy who, clearly if you take a look at this little boy, Elliot was a very proper young man. I mean, you can see he's dressed in a penguin suit. So one of the concerns is that children aren't hearing the vocabulary, that there's this big word gap between middle income, high income, and low income families. And what they're realizing is it's not just the word gap, it's the unique word gap, because you can get families to speak more to their children, but if they themselves don't have the vocabulary, whereas books solve that. So
almost every successful program kind of taps out at 60%. No matter how hard you try, 60% is where they tap out. It starts getting a little hard to find those kids that you can't find or aren't interested, but mostly can't find. So we're almost at 60% in 2 years. So, we are unique. So we are that grassroots group. So we're going to do it. So, we are trying to spend our time finding sponsors within, and so far we have been pretty successful. What we would like is to increase our grassroots, the people who give us $25 and sponsor one child for a year. If we get enough people doing that, it surprisingly will take quite a burden off, a little bit from a lot of people.
So are you kind of the only volunteer group?
Yes, possibly in the entire United States.
I don't know that there's even...
We have been told that. We're the only, we like to call it grassroots.